Hi HGTV, my name's April. Come inside, I'll show you around my home. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and this is my home. It was built in 1940, and my husband and I got it about 4 years ago. You know, we're in my favorite room of the house. This is the kitchen. It took a couple years for us to get it even remotely to this point. We had just random tables around and a utility sink that we use. One of the great things about that was that we were actually able to really take our time in designing it. And initially I really wanted it more contemporary, but then after living in this space, I was like, we just need a cozy cottage kitchen. We got our cabinets off of a marketplace and my toddler picked out the color. He's like, let's do a bright yellow. It's his favorite color. And I'm so glad we did because it's bright and happy. Even on a cloudy day like today, I feel like it feels like there's sunshine in here, which is perfect. One of my favorite projects in the kitchen was this hood vent that I made myself. I was able to do it completely out of scrap lumber. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's exactly what I envisioned. I sewed the curtains and these curtains, and actually I went to clean them for you guys coming today and I shrunk them. So I had to re-sew them yesterday. So these are freshly made curtains. And then I'll take you over to my other favorite part of the kitchen, this plate rack, which was actually the first thing I built out of wood. It was something that I was looking for vintage, but I wasn't able to find it. And I was like, man, I guess I just gotta learn how to do it. Kind of looked at some pictures online and figured it out. And me and my son built it. And I just love how it turned out. But this is just the start of the house. I have so much more to show you guys. We're making our way into the bathroom. This entire room, my husband basically solely designed. He picked out the tile. He wanted something juggly and foresty as a wallpaper, so I gave him some options and he was like, this is exactly what I envisioned. So I installed the wallpaper. We had a great flooring guy do the tile work. Feels like a spa in here. Feels a little foresty, a little hobbity. We just love it. This vanity was an old dry sink and we just drilled a hole in it and added a sink in place. It's very functional. And then coming out into the bedroom, we got this bed off Marketplace and then I added wood on the top of it, got some curtains from a thrift store, and we have our very own magical canopy bed. I would say like 98% of our home is secondhand. And we really enjoy just curating it. I love the texture it gives. Everything's a little bit beaten up, and that's okay because we have small kids. This is my dresser, and it's not wood, it's actually metal. It's from the 40s. It's a little janky and rickety. I've recently started a fixation with vintage jewelry, so this is my jewelry on display. And this is my husband's dresser. He loves his candelabra, and I was like, I'm not gonna plate it, I like a little drama. And this is a lovely photo from our wedding, and we got this lamp for like $2 at a thrift store. This fireplace was covered in drywall. We have 4 of them in the house, and they were not listed. Probably never guessed there was fireplaces except for the chimneys. So I was skeptical when we first got the house, and I was like, there's gotta be a fireplace behind the wall. So my husband smashed a hole in the wall, and there was one. So I finished it off with this mantle that we got from friends in town, and we just popped it up. It was long, but I feel like it actually fills in this space nice because it's a little awkward shaped because it's an old room and the closets weren't original. So I feel like it ends up working out really well. And let's go on to the next room. Making our way into the children's room, which is another favorite spot of mine. I love kid spaces because you have an opportunity to explore color and kind of just imagination in a way where you really can't with the rest of the house, though we kind of do. This room has just really evolved into different interests from my son and my daughter, and I just love being able to kind of work with my inner child in a way, which has been lovely. And this is a vintage Singer sewing machine that my husband actually found at a local thrift shop, and it is fully functional. It's a really great way to kind of just put a love for sewing. When my kids are really little, they need something a little bit safer than the normal sewing machine. I made this little shield for my son, and he just runs around the house with this short sworded shield. It's so cute. I just try to pour in as much whimsy into this room as possible. So I painted the mural you'll see behind me, and then if you look up to the ceiling, you'll notice I did stars and like a metallic gold. I made all the aircraft out of old cardboard, and my kids just love putting their little critters in them. These curtains I made out of old drop cloths, and eventually I might change something, but they do their job. And then we have some artwork that has been thrifted. I just try to find things that were reminiscent of things my kids liked. And then one day I randomly drew this bunny and I stuck it there, and it just kind of works with it. I got this little trinket drawer from a thrift store. My son likes putting his random little treasures in it. It's like the perfect thing for a kid to have. So I initially wanted a over $500 mural for this hallway. I was like, I can't afford that, but what I do have is 50-cent paints. So when my husband was gone a weekend, I was like, perfect opportunity. I'm gonna try to paint this before he gets home. That way I could quickly cover it in paint if it turns out really bad. It didn't turn out bad, at least in my opinion. I love it. And then I added this little owl for my son, and I just love how it makes you feel like you're in a forest. Moving on to the rest of the hallway, I came into a little bit of a problem because I love the murals so much in the staircase. I could not figure out a color to paint this top, and we had it just primed. And I was like, it needs something, but I didn't want to compete with that. So I was like, what if I went monotone and did another mural? I started back here and just did this part, and I loved how it turned out, and I was like, I could just work on it section by section. I really love it because I could just keep adding little things, I keep adding little animals. I just feel like it really just adds a little bit more whimsy and that like cozy outdoor feel. We got this piano for free, and my husband has his lovely silver pieces. He got this from Marketplace, and I thought it was a little over the top, but then I'm like, we're a little over the top, so it'll work. One of the things that really inspired this room was I really like Victorian era stuff, but that mixed in with a little bit of fairy tale, like a little bit of Beauty and the Beast, a little Hansel and Gretel. I just wanted our house to just feel something, and I feel like with all the homemade touches, it really just draws your eye in, and everything has a little story. Moving on to the living room, this was one of the big visions I had when we first got the house. There was this blank spot here, and I was like, we need a bookshelf because we love to read and we love books. So we had friends of ours in town build this bookshelf, and we quickly filled it up. You'll see we have overflow. And we just have a bunch of nature books. My husband has old collections, and then we have filled in the mix of little trinkets. So it's my favorite, it's a little squirrel. As I mentioned before, the fireplaces were covered in drywall when we first moved here, so they had no mantle. So we got this mantle from a local antique store. I just love it. It's from the Victorian era. I painted this a couple years ago, and like we needed a painting here, so I was like, I can do that. My kids have an ever-growing book collection because they don't know how to read yet, but we read to them every night. I just painted this little end table that a friend got me last week or a couple weeks ago. And then I just finished painting this little rocking chair, and it was a gift for my son for his birthday, and it was just like a cheap pine, and I had the intent of painting over it. And so I asked him what he wanted, and he said daffodils because they're his favorite flower, so I painted it. And then my daughter has proceeded to try to steal it, so I guess we'll just have to fight over it. I'll have to do another one. And then we have our little trinket shelf, which is an antique that I've had since before I got married. So I hung this up like a week ago, and we've already completely filled it with all the little things we had lying around the house. My husband buys my son these little animals every time we are hiking, and so he loves having a little spot to display them. I was always interested in kind of curating spaces that felt, I don't know, like myself, and I've always kind of had a little bit of a bold style, I would say, even from when I was a child. I was like always redesigning my bedroom as growing up. I just wanted something that felt very genuine and very me, and I feel like our house is a reflection of my husband and mine, our kids' taste, and it just feels really lovely to bring something that's beautiful but also feels practical. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed this tour of my home, and come back and see me again. Bye.